welcome to another episode of Business Matters. I'm your host, Stacy Bruzzese, and we have a couple of exciting guests here with us today. The very first guest I can't wait to introduce. His name is Nick Delatour, and he is the chair for the Chamber's brand new London Dairy Young Professionals Network. So welcome, Nick.
Thanks, Stacy. It's very nice to be here.
It's great to have you here today. I am so impressed with the energy that this group has taken on in the last couple of months. Pretty much brand new in the fall, and where are you now? So,
I'm really excited too with the growth of the group over the last couple months. In coming to my first chamber meeting since joining the London Dairy Chamber in October, November last year, I've seen the group take off from 17 to 20 people to our last two events have brought in more than 60 young professionals to our area, which I think that's a significant amount of growth that we've seen in a very short period of time.
Significant amount of growth and a huge amount of energy. Talk about how you've assembled a team. Talk a little bit about the team.
I have. We've put together a really good team of young professionals. I'm part of a referral group called Wicked Good Networkers here in Derry, and we meet at the Chamber. And the group in which I meet with there to pass referrals is really a young, energetic group that we tend to go out to a variety of different networking activities together. We go to groups in Manchester, we go to groups in Concord. And one of the things that we really wanted to do was bring that energy and bring that focus back to Derry and Londonderry. For me, I live in Londonderry, so I think that it was really important to be able to have something very close to home where I could find success. And our group is made up of a handful of very eager, energetic, and driven young professionals, all kind of new to their business or taking over, their parents' business and trying to market it in a different way. Face-to-face marketing and social networking is a significantly different way of growing your business than we've seen over the last 15, 20 years. And it's here to stay. I mean, it's the most effective way that I've found. I'm able to grow my business at a significantly greater level than I would have anticipated coming into insurance just a year ago. Absolutely,
absolutely. I think you're right on. Social media, everything on the internet, and just a whole lot of interaction is the way of the future. I mean, it's here now, and it will continue into the future. And the other thing that I think is definitely here to stay is really that grassroots, like get out, network, build your relationships. Those things never went away, and your group is doing that very well too.
Right. I think the only way that you can really be successful now is through relationships and networks. The relationships that you build, regardless of the profession that you're the professional that you're involved in, is really going to change how you perform. For myself as an insurance agent, it's really important that I partner with mortgage brokers and realtors and financial planners and build a strong foundation for myself and have good referral sources. Meetings like the London Dairy Young Professional Group that we have in the groups in Manchester and in Concord, they're able to bring in a lot of like-minded, energetic people that are looking for those same kind of relationships and find the people in the room that are most going to benefit you and your business. I think the way that you can make networking the most effective is by actually listening to the other person and figuring out, what can you do for me and what can I do for you? And you'll see that in our groups. There's a lot of conversation. Some are quick, some are long. It's about figuring out how you can help that person, if you can help that person, and how that relationship is mutually beneficial.
Excellent. Excellent. I know the Chamber, when we were looking at starting a Young Professionals Network, there was some talk, and this is prior to you coming on, of course, but there was some talk, there's not enough young professionals in the area, or they're not engaged. And we really felt as an organization that it was very important to go out and find those young professionals that we know are in the communities of Greater Derry, Londonderry, and give them a place to network, to grow their businesses, and essentially keep them here, because we keep losing our young professionals. So, we're very happy, of course, that it has taken off so quickly and that the young professionals do seem to be responding, at least with your core group. What are you finding is the response from the event goers, not necessarily the committee members, but the event goers?
So I know that Darien, Londonderry is definitely a residential or bedroom community. A lot of people live here and commute north or south. They have a fantastic school system, which was one of the reasons that I moved back here with my family so that my children could attend school here. I found it very difficult or I was unaware if there was, successful young people here. And so I wanted to be part of a group that could showcase what Darien, Londonderry had to offer from a business standpoint to people from Salem and Londonderry and other surrounding communities, to really show that their business can be successful locally, show them what business is here, show them all the fantastic restaurants that we have local, the more tenured, I would say, established people that we have locally, and build those relationships and learn to find out what made them successful, and use a lot of what they've done in their lives and implement it in how we're trying to grow our business. And some feedback that I've got from a lot of the events that we have is everybody's been really, really happy with it. They like the structure of our events. They like coming to a new community. Everybody goes to the same places in Manchester and in Concord and in Salem. So it's cool to be able to come to a new place and make new connections. And it's cool too because we have some of the members of the board of directors from the chamber come out and introduce themselves, and to really see the energy in the room. And it shows that these people do exist. They're willing to do business locally, and whether they live here or want to do business here, it's important for this community to continue to grow. And the young professional group is one of the main mechanisms in doing that for the future.
I couldn't agree more. So you have a regular meeting schedule for your event, or event schedule for your socials, and tell us when we can find you and where we can find you.
We do, absolutely. So we try to be different. Generally, when you look at your social calendar, Monday's a pretty empty night. It's your first day back from work after the weekend, and maybe you didn't have a great day. So we have chosen to have all of our events the second Monday of every month. So next month's event is going to be on March 10th. The March 10th event will be held at Whippersnappers. Our events generally run from 5:30 to 7:30. So it's a really simple, you get out of work, you're able to go attend an event. Nobody says you need to stay there the whole time, but go make a presence, show people that you're there, who you are, what you do, and hopefully make some connections that you can build on outside of just the event hours. We always encourage everybody to stay longer than the event time too, as it's a benefit to the business. We have had a meeting at Halligan's Tavern that was one of their best networking events that they've ever had. We had people stay there and have dinner after the event was all over, and we were there for a pretty lengthy period of time. And then the event that we had in February was held at the Common Man in Wyndham, and we had people there all through the whole night as well. So I found both of the last two events to be extremely beneficial for the business, as we've been able to keep our young professionals there after the 7:30 time period, when all the major networking is done, and they're able to create one-on-one relationships, or just have dinner with some friends.
Right, so important. Sometimes our lives are so busy, when you can fit a little bit of socialization in with your business day, it's not a bad thing.
It is.
I also know that your group is talking about down the road in the next several months, possibly doing a daytime event. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we're really excited right now to see the growth and the involvement in which we have with young professionals in our social events. But one of the things that I really want to be able to do is bring people here who don't necessarily have the ability to get out to a nighttime event, to an afternoon event, something that we would hold around lunchtime, and bring in successful people that are local to this community, and have them come in and it be more of an educational luncheon, to kind of teach people, teach younger people how you continue to be successful, how you grow your business, and any tips and tricks that they have that have kept them going for so long. Also, it's a really good time, in order to, approach different kinds of projects. I'm sorry, not projects, but topics like first-time home buyers, and have particular types of seminars and educational agendas to actually provide something of importance back to the young professionals of the area, and not just have a night for social networking.
Absolutely. Professional development is something that we all seek out, and continue to do throughout our entire careers, no matter how old you are, no matter if you're brand new in your industry or if you've been there 40 years. you can always grow and learn a little more. So I think that would be a fantastic addition to that particular network. Something great that you do at every one of your events is highlight a nonprofit.
Right.
I've been very impressed with that. Both the nonprofits you've brought in, but also your willingness to, take time out of your agenda to help them meet their needs. Talk a little bit about what inspired that for you and the group.
So I think it's extremely important for young people to know what's available. A lot of us have heard of a variety of different nonprofit associations, and there's the ones that everybody can think of. But there's a lot of smaller ones that are more local, that have a more defined goal and approach to their business and what they do. And you'll find that the faces to a lot of these organizations wind up being younger professionals, just based on their ability to socially network, go out and attend these events and market. So we always look to find people within our age category and really showcase them in their business and what it is that they're trying to do, because everybody believes in something. Everybody has an organization in which they feel strongly for, and there's a lot of these young people that have gone to work for these organizations. We highlighted the Life of Dairy a couple months ago at one of our events, and they're a group of Pinkerton graduates who just felt that they wanted to give back to the community. They've been very successful in a short period of time, and a lot of their marketing is grassroots. Not a lot of people know about them outside of the dairy area, but people here know who they are, what they're trying to do, and they do a fantastic job. So those are the types of people who we try to highlight at each one of our events. I think that it's extremely important for young people to know what's available and to know what they can do to help. And it's always a resume builder if you can be on a board of directors. So
it definitely is the next level of leadership too. When you can step out as a young professional and give your time and resources to an organization or multiple organizations like that, I think you always gain leadership skills, which ultimately gives you the edge when you take it back to your place of business.
Absolutely.
The one last thing I did want to mention is there's never a cost for young professionals to come out and network with you. And I know that it is funded by Triangle Credit Union.
Correct.
In part, but there's some other things going on that are going to require some funds, and you guys have put together or are partnering on a very fun evening fundraiser. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So we don't charge for our events. We don't feel that we should have to charge people in order to come and network and grow their business. But events do cost. So we've had the pleasure of having Triangle Credit Union sponsor our first 6 events as a YPN group, which has been tremendously successful. But for our continued growth, we're looking at ways in order to increase our funding so that we're able to continue to keep free events. So one event that we have planned in conjunction with the Life of Dairy and the Upper Room here in Derry is a comedy night fundraiser that we'll have April 5th at Stockbridge Theater at Pinkerton Academy. The comedy night tickets are available through our website, through our Facebook page actually, which is just facebook.com/DLYPN. Just hop on there. You can get some information about the night. We're going to have a couple comedians come and perform that are pretty big to the local area. Tickets are only available at $25 a head, and we're trying to give back a little bit and give people a reason to go out and offer a really nice night out, which will in turn help support both the Life of Dairy Upper Room and Dairy Londonderry Young Professional Network. So we're very excited about it. It's April 5th. Like I said, it's a Saturday, and I think doors open at 7.
So a great night out, lots of fun, sounds great. Tickets are also available at the Chamber office if you want to walk in and pick yours up, 29 West Broadway in Derry. And before you go, tell them where to find you, tell them how they can get in touch with you if they're interested in coming to an event.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can check us out in our Facebook group, facebook.com/DLYPN. We also have a group that you can just, you can like the page. We have also a group that we can add you to if you'd like, so that you can always know what we have going on if you'd ever like to be involved with a committee, whether it's social event planning, promotion and marketing, And then when we get to our lunchtime events, we need some people to help, put those together as well. You can also reach out to any of the any current members if you see us online, or you can head into the chamber office, and Stacy would more than gladly give you all my information. As I'm very simple and easy to talk to, so definitely come out, see what we have to offer, and I'd really appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing your information with us, Nick. We definitely look forward to seeing you at one of your fun events soon.
Well, I look forward to it.
And for those of you watching at home, don't be afraid. If you are a young professional, or if you know a young professional, don't be afraid to send them out to one of these great events. The next one, again, coming up on March 10th at Whippersnappers, right up the road in Londonderry. And other dates are available online, so check them out there, gdlchamber.org/DLYPN, or call the Chamber office 432-8205. Thank you for watching the first segment. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Business Matters. My next guest is certainly an entrepreneur with a mission. Welcome Jeff Correa from Door to Door Delivery. It's great to have you here, Jeff.
It's good to be here. Thank you. I'm excited.
This is exciting. Actually, your business is exciting. First off, tell us a little bit about where you're from, where you are, and where you come from.
Yeah, no, well, I'm out of, I was born in Manchester, and I went to high school there, so I'm very familiar with the town, and that's where my company's based out of, and right now we're based out of there. I went to school in Massachusetts, but I came back to my roots, so we're based out of Manchester, but we have been expanding and growing. So
we've seen some of that growth here locally, and door-to-door delivery is actually, it seems so basic when you learn what it is and think about it, but no one's ever done it. So it's such a unique, really, offering. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah, the great part is we deliver food for restaurants who don't deliver. And with that being said, when I tell people that, the first thing that they tell me is like, oh, that's a great idea. Right. But the problem with that is that means that they've never heard of a company like mine. So I have to educate my customers on what it is I do and then how to do it. So that's been taking a little bit of time. But the concept itself is pretty easy. Of course, on my end, it's a lot more difficult than you may think. Right. I'm juggling a lot of balls in the air. Right now we have almost 25 restaurants or so. So yeah, if you're hungry and if it's raining out or if it's snowing or maybe you went out too hard the night prior and you don't feel like getting out, you just give us a call or go to our website and we'll pick up the food and drop it off at your house or your hotel or wherever.
A great idea.
Thank you.
And I think it's helpful to the restaurants too, who don't have the capability or this manpower, I guess, to deliver. So how did you come up with that idea?
Well, while I was at school at Bentley, I used to use this delivery service, like very similar to this there, and I used to use it all the time. And I'm like, you know what? Manchester needs something like this. Right. So I ended up finishing school, grad school there, and I worked in the corporate field for a little while. I actually owned a franchise for a while as well. And about 3 years ago, my mother had passed away, so I came back to take care of her. And I was here in Manchester, and I had given up the businesses that I was at, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back to that idea that I thought was so great and successful that I'm going to bring it to Manchester, and then I'm going to take this baby nationwide. Right. So far so good.
Well, with great businesses like Fratello's, Unwind, I mean, you name it, and pretty much they're your customers. How are you finding it going out and talking to the restaurants? What is their reaction when you come to them with this idea?
Well, the great part is now that I've been in business for almost 2 years now, they've already heard of me. So when I even go to a new market, they're like, oh yes, we've heard of you. That's a cool feeling, because the word's getting out and it's getting to be the norm now. But now it started off as kind of a domino effect where I got one and then the rest kind of followed suit. And the great part is the restaurants, they see the value in what I do because they can leave at any time, but they don't because they see the value. And it's pretty great when, you know, I have a set of restaurants and one speaks to another one, another one speaks to another one. And the thing is, with delivery, having a restaurant do that on their own is a separate business in itself. They have to pay the drivers, payroll, taxes, manage them. They need to focus on their brick and mortar business. Everybody come to the restaurant. This is their focus. This is their baby. That's what they need to focus on, not anything else.
Right.
Like delivering food and such.
Extra insurance and
Right. Oh yeah, the list goes on.
Yeah.
So I come in, I'm like, let me do it for you, right? Because this is my business. This is what I do.
Absolutely.
And they see the value in it, and it's been great. It's been a great ride.
Well, it is exciting that you've had such tremendous growth in just 2 short years. So for a consumer like me, I call up door-to-door delivery. What can I expect to pay to use this service?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. In Derry, we'll be doing $4.99, and we're going to be delivering in Derry and Londonderry, anywhere in those 2 towns. And so if you are living in East Derry or Londonderry and you want How's Your Onion delivered to your house, you call up 531-FOOD or go to www.d2ddelivery.com. You choose How's Your Onion out of the many restaurants, but that's what you want that day.
Yeah.
And you choose a breakfast item and a sandwich, and you want that burger cooked medium rare with onions, lettuce, tomatoes, and pickles and onions. You literally choose it right on your website, on the website, so you know exactly what you're getting. As soon as the order is placed, in the background, drivers are on the way to the restaurants, orders are being placed, and the food is being made. My mobile waiter picks up the food, drops it off at your house 45 minutes later.
Nice.
And on it goes.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. So I'm just thinking now, this seems like something that would be really beneficial for businesses, for corporate accounts to use your service, because they can keep their people in, you know, you don't have to worry about someone coming back late from lunch or whatever, and they still can have a great lunch. So have you started to expand into some of the corporate world yet?
Yes, and that's been a mission that I've set on over the last year or so. So when companies have like their maybe a Monday morning rally, or they have conferences and they have a group of like 10 or 20 or so, and they don't want pizza or Chinese or subs. You know, they want a meal from Mint Bistro, and you know what? Since our employees are so valuable, I'm also going to get something from Ben & Jerry's and give them some ice cream because we deliver for them as well. So it's great for the corporate customers on that end. And as you said, maybe they're just too busy and they can't leave the office, or they don't want to get out because it's raining or it's snowing or whatever, and they can set the delivery times a week in advance if they want to. You know, like, or for example, if they walk in the door in the morning at 8 o'clock, they put an order in for door-to-door to be delivered at noon, right? Or when they get home at 6 o'clock, so they can pre-order it. Yeah.
And dinner's waiting.
And dinner's waiting.
Waiting.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, so I know you're expanding your marketplace. You've done very well in Manchester, and now you're looking south.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing in our area.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. We've been hitting the ground running. We've talked to several restaurants in Londonderry, Derry, and we're actually going to be opening up in Salem, Wyndham, and Nashua as well. So it's a big undertaking, but so far so good. I think right now we have about 8 restaurants on board here in Derry and Londonderry, and that's not including the ones in Nashua. Those are I got about another 10 out there. So it's been a lot of work. You know, I got a couple of sales reps out there, and I'm hitting the pavement myself, and a lot of background stuff, plugging in the menus and getting the mobile waiters ready to go, and the dispatchers and all that, and the marketing. So it's yeah, I'm excited.
Any other challenges with some of the products that you deliver? I mean, I'm thinking about Ben & Jerry's ice cream. How great would that be? But that's got to be a challenge, especially in warmer months, for you to get that there in its intended shape.
Right. No, and I'm glad you said that. We've spent a lot of time and due diligence on our technology, and we did it so that we make sure that when restaurant food is presented to you at the restaurant, it's going to be the same as if it's going to be at your kitchen table, right? So that food quality is super important for us, and the technology behind it to keep certain items cold and certain items hot is very important to us. For example, I actually went out and I tested out one of these bags in last June. It was about, I don't know, 97 degrees out, and I got one of these bags, and I have a black car with a black trunk, right? So it's really hot in that trunk.
Yep.
I went to the store, grabbed a 6-pack of beer. It was nice and cold. I threw it in the bag, put it in the trunk, drove up to Laconia about an hour away.
Right.
You know how hot it is in my trunk in 98 degrees?
Sure.
I open up the trunk, super hot, unzip the bag, cold. Freezing cold. I'm like, these things really work. So imagine your ice cream.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
Good for you.
And the beer was delicious.
Glad to hear that.
Yes,
So, as you're expanding, what new restaurants? You mentioned you have some new restaurants. What are some of the newer restaurants we can see on your menu?
Yes, well, let me mention a couple out in Manchester. So the Manchester delivery as well, not only is it Manchester, but we deliver to Bedford, Hooksett, Penarville, and Goffstown.
Okay.
So it's a pretty big area that we cover.
Sure.
And some of the new ones, we have the Pint Public House, which is an amazing restaurant. Great ingredients. We have, like I said, Ben & Jerry's, Extreme Pita. We actually also do Holy Smokes. So if you want a cigar with your food, we'll pick up a couple cigars and drop it off. So it's pretty unique. And then, of course, we have Millie's Tavern. But here, we've got How's Your Onion? Great guy. We've been talking with Rigatoni's, Whippersnappers, California Grill, USA Subs, USA Chicken, a couple of Chinese restaurants. I mean, the list goes on.
Nice.
And if you guys know of any restaurants that you want delivered, feel free to tell the restaurants that, hey, door-to-door is coming, and you know, we'll talk to them and hopefully get them on board.
Fantastic, fantastic. So that's how we can help you.
Yes.
We can tell our favorite restaurant that they must get delivery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, give door-to-door a call.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention is you're a fairly new chamber member, and we're so happy we have you. You get a lot of energy. You quickly jumped on board with our Taste of the Town event and have been helping with the planning of that, and we hope that you have a presence at the event as well.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about some of the restaurants and the different things you've been doing in preparation for that event.
Yeah, this is going to be a great opportunity for restaurants to come out and display their food, showcase their food. I mean, it's gonna be a great turnout, and I think from Manchester, I'm bringing a few restaurants, including a Holy Smoke Cigar Shop, the Gyro Spot, Ben & Jerry's will be present. Millie's Tavern will be doing their delicious wings and a beer booth, which is cool because they're actually starting their own brewing company called Stark Brewing Company. So they're going to showcase some of their beers, which is really exciting,
right?
Especially since they're kind of new with their brand. So you know, preparing for this is really exciting, and not only for the restaurants, but the customers as well. That's pretty cool. I know. They pay, you know, it's $25, $30.
$35 a ticket, yeah.
And then they get great
60
food.
Samples.
That's
60
incredible.
Plus samples, I know.
Not only the food, but you get the beers, you get some wine if you'd like, and then we got the VIP section, which is really cool. $75 for premium restaurants, premium liquors and wines and craft beer, which is really cool. My good friend Scott at Unwind, he'll be participating. So he's also a door-to-door familia. So pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's great. Well, we thank you for your help on that.
Oh, my pleasure.
And I know that you're involved in many different nonprofit organizations, and you're very generous with your donations, both to the Chamber and to other organizations locally. But I happen to know, I just found out recently that there is an organization that's near and dear to your heart. The ALS Society, is it?
Foundation.
Foundation. Yep. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to chat a little bit about that while you were here, because I don't know if a lot of our viewers know about the ALS Foundation, but they definitely should. Yeah,
no, I appreciate it. Thank you for bringing that to the attention. So, like I said before, about 3 years ago, my mother was diagnosed with ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease. It's basically the cousin of multiple sclerosis to the 10th degree. And from start to finish, when they had diagnosed her till she passed away, it was 9 months. It's a really aggressive disease. Some will, last longer. Some, 14 years even. But the way it kind of caught her, it caught her in the worst way. Kind of attacked her throat at the beginning, and she couldn't speak, and it just kind of was debilitating ever since then. Ended up getting paralyzed. Couldn't walk and couldn't speak or eat. So and the horrible part is that, well, it's all horrible, but is that she's cognitive of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So she knows what's going on, you know. And when I came home, I was literally her caretaker for those 9 months, just to see this, it just broke my heart. It just, and to see somebody go through this, especially your mother, and I was the biggest baby's boy you've ever met. I was a mama's boy, and I loved her very dearly. And so when she had passed away, it literally turned my life around.
Of course.
It just brought to light new things, and I went away for a while, and I came back, and I want to be able to help. And so what I've done is I've brought all the teachings that she has taught me as a kid to grown up and create this business and be as successful as I can because of her. And so what we do is every year we have a big ALS walk, and it's I think we're going to be going forward. It's going to be at the Livingston Park in Manchester, and we helped raise in 2012. We helped raise about $60,000, and in 2013 we did about $70,000 to help to find a cure.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And help for research for this debilitating disease, and this whole company is dedicated to my mother. I just I'm choking up right now. So not only are we doing the events, but when you place a delivery, at the end of your delivery, you can choose, would you like to donate money towards the ALS Foundation? And you can do it right then and there, right on your credit card. Then we get the money, and then we send it off to the charity. So anything that we can do to help this cause, we will. And we're doing events at different restaurants to help raise awareness and money and things like that. So.
Excellent. Do you have a date for your walk yet this year?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet, but I'm probably going to be sometime in October.
Okay.
Because we just had it last October.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
So viewers can watch for information on your website.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Through social media. I know you're very good at that. Getting the word out there.
Yeah.
Excellent. Anything else you wanted to share with our viewers today, Jeff?
If you would like free delivery, all right, the first time users always get free delivery. So if you have a pen and a piece of paper, ready, go. Okay, write down free, the letter D, the number 2, D. That's free D2D. And once you place your order, you type in that code and you get a free delivery.
Excellent. And they can find you on D2, that's the numeral 2, D.
Delivery.com, and check us out on Facebook.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being our guest, Jeff.
My pleasure.
And for helping out with the Taste of the Town.
Course,
we'll be seeing you a lot.
Absolutely.
And to our viewers at home, do be sure to check out d2ddelivery.com. Your first order is free, because you saw it here, with your code FREED2D. And check out all of the great restaurants and go back frequently, because Jeff is out there and his staff, they're out there constantly adding on new restaurants to the menu. So we encourage you to check back frequently. I thank you for watching. Again, I'm Stacy Bruzzese, and this has been another episode of Business Matters. We'll see you soon.